So I think we've had enough time of Vítor Matos, Swansea City head coach, to be able to take a good old look at the various ways that he's absolutely smashing it. And what an appointment this looks to have been, because let's not forget the position that Swansea were in, performing terribly on the pitch, issues in attack and in defence, and with reportedly their first choice to replace Alan Sheehan, Kim Helberg, going to Middlesbrough, where he's performing admirably as well. They turned to Vítor Matos, and it couldn't have gone much better. In his 15 games in charge, they've won just over half of them, with 8 wins and 25 points. But if we consider that when he took charge, Swans games were coming thick and fast, let's give him 2 games grace, right? It helps that they lost both of those games, but it does mean we can look at a league table from the 1st of December that has Swansea in 4th, 25 points from 13 games, with only Hull and Ipswich picking up more points in that time. They've won 6 of 7 home games. He's improved both ends of the pitch at the same time, and that is a hell of a feat of management, because some would have come in and gone, look, we need to shore it up at the back, we need to start keeping clean sheets, eke our way into a couple of draws, maybe nick a few wins here and there, move up the table that way and build the attacking side on top of that. But Matos has been able to do both at the same time, where defensively it's only 10 goals conceded in the last 13 games, but in attack they look so much more potent, so much more fluent. And that's backed up in the stats, where in the first 15 games of the season, Swansea only had 4 shots or more in 7 of the first 15 games of the season. But in their last 15 games, they've had 4 shots on target or more in 12 of 15. They are consistently a consistent threat at the top end of the pitch. And within that, we can see one very clear area where Swansea went from one of the worst in the league to one of the most dangerous, and that's set-piece situations. Now, for many, this isn't an obvious part of the game to focus on, but increasingly teams are working out how to maximise set-piece situations, and it's such an easy way to make yourself a team that gets better results without necessarily having to buy a whole new team. The skill set that they have with Josh Tymon's left foot is already set up to provide really, really good delivery. But Matos and his staff have built a way of attacking from set pieces that has been almost impossible to stop. Before the Wednesday game, 5 of their previous 7 league goals had come from corners, and they're being scored by an array of different players as well, so not obvious who to pick up from those. Then there's Zan Vipotnik, the Championship's top goal scorer, someone who last season looked a million miles away what we're seeing this season, and who, to be fair, Sheehan had started to get some output out of, but Matos has taken it to the next level. 9 goals in 14 games under Matos. And what I like as well is that he has found time to rest and rotate him as well. It'd be all too easy to just auto-pick Vipotnik in the number 9 spot for every game. But in the Championship, that would probably lead to maybe an injury, or possibly being so fatigued that you play yourself into poor form. But he's managed to keep him sharp. 2 goals on the weekend showed that. When you watch this Swansea side, it's a lot more fun, isn't it? They are way more sure of themselves in the final third. But looking at some of the quotes from the players, it looks like this has been a man management job as much as a tactical job, in terms of giving players the freedom to do what they can do in attack. There's a lot of players like Vidal, like some of the wide players as well, who maybe just needed that trust to try things that might not come off, but try things that, if they do come off, will turn Swansea into a better attacking team. And they were so tough to watch previously, where, yeah, they would build the ball through the thirds, they might get into the final third, but seemingly had very little idea how to actually score a goal from that position. And now things look very, very different. A part of that is that they are pressing and counter-pressing much better than they did before. Instead of just trying to shore things up, hold shape, be defensive in their mindset, Matos has been making them more and more aggressive in their press. And it's really, really working. They're disrupting opposition play much better, and they're winning the ball high up the pitch much more. And that leads to good opportunities, quick transition attacks. And when they've got a player like Vipotnik at the top of the pitch, they are going to take those chances more often than not. So you have to look back at what Tom Gorringe said upon appointing Matos. We spoke to a range of candidates. He was the clear standout with a cohesive plan of how to take our squad forward and improve. Now, I've spoken to a lot of people that have done head coach searches, and of course, the interview period is massively important because you want to buy into what a manager is telling you. But it's also a truth in football that often managers are able to put together quite good plans, and they might even be able to present them pretty well in a boardroom. But it's a completely different beast actually stepping onto the training pitch, stepping into a dressing room and putting it all into place. And from every single possible angle that you can look at, Matos' appointment has gone unbelievably well, and he deserves a huge amount of credit for it. I also think maybe a small thing that was really smart, whether it came from Matos or the club, was getting Joe Allen and Leon Britton in as first team coaches. It's impossible to know from the outside exactly what they are adding in terms of the technical side of coaching and how much of the game plan they've got input into. Maybe they're on set pieces, maybe they're on defensive transitions. There's so many different aspects of a coach's work right now. But I think in terms of the feel-good factor, in terms of maybe helping Matos connect a little bit with the fan base and understand a little bit about Swansea City and their history, a really, really genius move. And the more experience those two get, well, the better potentially long-term for Swansea, because certainly Joe Allen will absolutely be a managerial candidate of the future if he goes down that route. The last question is, should Swansea City fans dare to dream of an unlikely playoff tilt? Well, they're only 5 points off it at the moment. There are 8 teams between them and the playoff places, so it really would have to be a continuation of some exceptional form. They would have to, for the next 15 games, again, be the team that picks up the first, second, third, maybe fourth most points in the league. Anything less than that, and it's unlikely that they'll make it. But in the immediate future, I'm fascinated. They've got Derby, they've got Bristol City, and they've got Preston. And those teams are 3 points, 4 points, and 5 points above them currently in the league table. Those are the ones that they're chasing down. Can you imagine if Swans get 3 wins or even 2 wins and a draw in those games, what that will do to the league table, what will do for the confidence of this team and its fan base. It's been a real pleasure to watch, not just the game on Sunday against Sheffield Wednesday, but a lot of Swansea's football recently has just looked and felt a lot more natural, a lot more enjoyable. Of course, the results make a massive difference to that, but I find myself incredibly impressed with what Matos has done, and it's been a pleasure to dig into some of the numbers behind it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what the most noticeable things that you've seen from Matos' Swansea and the biggest improvements that you think he's made, and whether you think you should be daring to dream of a playoff place. Let us know in the comments, Swans fans, and do subscribe to the Dragon Sports YouTube channel and head to dragonsports.co.uk for all the best Welsh sports news.